Y'all gotta believe me, I'm trying really hard to remain a law-abiding citizen. At least until the constitutionalists within our military split and actually take our country back. But man, they're pushing me to the edge.
Caitlin Collins, who's the CNN anchor. And I have like a decent relationship with Caitlin Collins, which is unusual given that she's from CNN. But the president, she's asking a question. The president says, why don't you ever smile?
Yeah.
And it's actually like so perceptive. Even if you're asking a tough question, even if you take your job very seriously, like why does it always have to be so antagonistic?
Well, I laughed because I saw online everybody was calling him sexist for saying that. And I literally said the same thing about Caitlin Collins a year ago on my show. She never smiles. Every once in a while, you have to smile. Roger Ailes used to tell us that. Every once in a while, you can remember to smile, show the viewers that you have a heart.
Have some fun.
When asking the President of the United States about survivors and victims of Jeffrey Epstein, tell me, where do you fit in a smile? Where do you fit in a little chuckle? What about any of this subject matter? You have to have fun with it. What in God's name is wrong with these people? Children. Save the children. Protect the kids. Protect the children. Whatever fucking hashtag you want to make. Where do you smile and laugh about this line of questioning? These people are fucking ghouls. For all the Christian nationalists and Christian conservatives that were always talking about Satanists and demons and all that, where in the are you now? Where are all the right-wing influencers that said a wood chipper is the only answer? Aside from the misogynistic, old, antiquated, oh, she's a nice young woman, she should just smile more. I've worked very, very hard to keep my demons at bay over these years. I pride myself on controlling myself over emotion, to complete objectives, to be purposeful and intentional with my movements and my actions. Children, kids, any MAGA person that is just turning a blind eye to this because they're grown victims today, the network is still up and running. 5, 6, 7-year-olds, younger. It's happening today. And Donald Trump and this entire administration are protecting all involved and protecting Donald Trump himself. The ghoul Megyn Kelly and J.D. Vance laughing and saying, just have some fun. My God is a righteous God. And when the dust settles, y'all be looking up from down below at me. Sincerely, an actual Christian.
Welcome to BPPN, the Bold Perspective People's Network. I'm Mr. Gray. And what you just saw is something that's becoming more common. People are not just frustrated with the Epstein story, they are now becoming angry. Because after years of headlines, investigations, and document releases, many people believe the truth has not fully come out.
You know, whenever somebody says that maybe it's time to move on from the Epstein files, I'm always like, great. I totally agree. I think we should have moved on to the public execution phase of this a long time ago. So, like, what's the holdup? Do we not have enough wood chippers? But I'll donate.
Hey, listen, I don't have a wood chipper, but I can donate gas money. I would like to donate gas money. Listen, we can disagree on a lot of things, but this is not one of those things. And if you are a person who is actively protecting the people we want to shove in the wood chipper, I think you should go in the wood chipper first.
When anger reaches this point, something dangerous begins to happen. The conversation stops being about investigation. People start talking about punishment before the investigation even finishes. And once the public discussion moves from justice to vengeance, the entire process becomes unstable. History shows this again and again. When people believe the system is broken, they begin imagining ways to replace it.
I met him before I was Attorney General. I think I actually met him in college, but I didn't know him well then at all.
Go figure. Look at that. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Oh, would you look at that? Just look.
You know, one reason this story refuses to disappear is the number of powerful people who cross paths with Jeffrey Epstein. Epstein spent decades networking with elites, business leaders, political figures, celebrities, and because of that, many public figures are now being asked the same question. Did you ever meet him? Most answers follow the same pattern. We had a brief contact, no real relationship, no involvement. But in a scandal like this, every minor association starts to raise suspicions.
One person standing in the way of us all figuring out why his name appears multiple times in the Epstein files. We still don't know why his name appears multiple times in the Epstein files.
We do know why,
is
Jim.
Donald Trump.
We all know why.
Yeah.
You have to know why. Why else do you think he paid $1 billion to Jeffrey Epstein over the time of their friendship? $1 billion. He wrote in his birthday book, "Here's to all the secrets."
Wonderful secrets,
Come on. If this was an Angela Lansbury murder, she wrote, people would be, it's too obvious.
We figured it out.
So obvious that he is guilty as sin. And America, you know, before he brings more troops into Chicago and harasses brown-skinned people, before he breaks more of the Constitution apart, before he starts having people get killed, we have to do something, America.
Yeah.
And it's
I
time
agree.
for every person with a platform to speak out about it. Every single person, now or never, break glass in time of emergency. It's time to break the glass.
And you saw, Rosie, what he did the other day when those brave women were up on Capitol Hill, the survivors, their families, they were all speaking out. At the same time, Donald Trump is saying it's a Democratic hoax.
How dare he, Jim?
Yeah.
How dare he? For every child that was ever raised by a grown man, how dare he? How dare he? We are mighty. 1 in 3 girls suffers child sex abuse. 1 in 5 boys. Those are the statistics, America. Wake up.
Yeah.
Wake up. Our president is a serial pedophilia, and that's what he is.
At the opposite end of the spectrum are direct accusations. Some commentators now openly claim major political leaders were involved. These accusations spread quickly across the television and, more importantly, across social media, one of the most powerful tools in the world. But accusations alone are not evidence. And when accusations dominate the conversation, separating fact from speculation becomes harder. This is how complicated scandals spiral. Evidence, suspicion, now accusation, all blended together in a public conversation.
It's like the Jeffrey Epstein files. Like, they're out there saying it would really compromise national security if we told you. Yeah, worldwide. If we told you that actually this whole world is being run by pedophiles, our nation wouldn't be secure. You guys would probably be in the streets violently protesting. You'd never send your kids into school. You'd avoid the government like the plague, and you'd stop paying taxes. So we're just going to classify that as a national security risk. That's kind of what that means, obviously. It means that what they are doing is so despicable that if we knew what they were doing, we would not listen to them. That's what that means. That's what that language means. That's why there's been so much protection over Jeffrey Epstein, because that is who rules over us. These people are disgusting. And there's just been so much proof in, particularly, I would say, the last 2 years of that. I mean, any person who actually watched the Brigitte Macron story knows that that was a story about power. Pedophiles in power, and the psychopathic lengths they will go through to maintain the lie, right? Because they just think, even though we're lying and we're caught lying and you all know that we're lying, we're the slave masters, how dare you know?
Another argument circulating online suggests that the Epstein files remain hidden because revealing everything would destabilize society. The theory claims the truth would destroy public trust in the government entirely. The problem with that argument is simple. It assumes the answer before the evidence appears. And once people believe the conclusion, every new piece of information becomes proof of the theory.
When I went on the run in Belize, I had friends in the U.S. Embassy in Belize. I knew what was coming down. I'm not stupid. I had arranged with the head of security. I was going to come in. He said, "Sir, we have it from the highest authority. We are not to allow you entry into the U.S. Embassy." Understand me. Who was the highest authority of the State Department? Hillary Clinton. I'm an American citizen with a American passport. I'm sorry. I'm not wanted in America. I've got no crimes in America. Is it not a reason to say, I don't think I'm going to vote for you?
And yet you're here now.
For a month and a half, I was on the run. The reason that the government wanted to collect me was that after they had raided my property in 2012 in the jungle, shot my dog, abused me, destroyed $500,000 worth of my property over a bogus charge, I was pissed off. And so I donated to many secretaries within the government laptop computers, really nice ones that were preloaded with viral spyware. Within a week, the entire government computer system was under my control. I was watching, monitoring this thing. I was looking for information that they had set me up for that raid. I didn't find that. I did find out that the Minister of National Defense was the largest drug trafficker in all of Central America. And the Minister of Immigration, the largest human trafficker.
Well, we don't want to get killed by them either, so we're probably not going to
That's fine, that's fine.
John McAfee died by suicide on June 23, 2021 at age 75 in a Spanish prison cell near Barcelona. His death occurred hours after a Spanish court approved his extradition to the United States on tax evasion and crypto fraud charges. Official investigations confirmed his death was by hanging. If he had made it to America, made it to court, he had a lot of paperwork that his lawyers were going to bring to court. That was going to cause a lot of problems. But as you know, anyone who has ever found himself on the bad sides of Hillary Clinton has always been a person. Anyways, I am not. But yeah, now we know why John McAfee was suicidal.
Stories like this feed a broader belief that corruption at high levels may be widespread. Whether these beliefs are accurate or exaggerated, they shape how people interpret every development connected to the Epstein case. Once that trust disappears, every new document looks suspicious, every delay is intentional, and every unanswered question becomes another reason people believe something is being hidden. The Epstein case started with one guy, one creepy looking guy. But over time, that story has now grown into something much larger. A test of trust in institutions, trust in investigations, trust that the justice applies equally to the powerful and the powerless. Some believe powerful figures are still being protected, and they are, while others believe speculation has overtaken the facts. But until the questions surrounding this case receive clear answers, the anger we are seeing will not disappear. As we go further, things are going to get a little bit more serious. But we're going to do what we can to be here with you for every step of the way. Thank you for giving us your time today. Stay vigilant. Stay engaged. Stay revolutionary.